When creating my trailer, I put a lot of factors into account. For example, location. I wanted my trailer to be simplistic. This is why I focused it in one location, so I used the school hall. Once I had closed the curtains and switched off the lights, it created a perfect atmosphere and sinister look. The location provided plenty of low-key light. Low-key lighting is a convention of horror trailers that I had used to create a sinister atmosphere. Low-key lighting enhances the fear as the audience cannot see everything in the shot. Also, it creates mystery. When analysing my two trailers, Saw 2 and Insidious Chapter 2, I used them as inspiration for my own trailer. Another factor that helped create my trailer was camera shots. Camera shots give trailer meaning and help the audience to follow narrative. The shots I used varied to show different things. I used lots of close-ups to show the MVC of characters, similar to what Saw 2 did. Also, the use of low-angle shots in my trailer, Phobia, to symbolise power. Here is a shot of my antagonist taken from a low angle to make him appear bigger and dominant. This also makes him look mysterious and scary to the audience. One trailer I got inspiration from was The Helper, where they use a record frame. I used this also by using the effect camcorder on Final Cut Pro. This was used to involve the audience and to make the audience feel part of the action. The aim was to make the audience feel uncomfortable. For example, in Saw 2, when the action intensifies, the typography appears faster and jumps out. When creating my trailer, I used this as inspiration and added typography. Towards the end, that linked with the increasing action. Throughout my trailer, I used captions instead of dialogue. This is because I think this is the best way to build and create tension. Also, it makes the audience concentrate. When I carried out my audience research, most of my audience wanted captions instead of dialogue to follow narrative. Music played a key role in my trailer. It created and built up the tension. I used a heartbeat throughout, but towards the end, it increased in tempo and in volume. This was effective and almost represented how the audience heartbeat was increasing. I used another set of music that started off slow and then increased in tempo and volume. The music created the pace for my trailer and created suspense. This conforms to the codes and conventions of a horror trailer. The typography used at the start of my trailer is the same text that was used for my film poster and magazine front cover. This was to create synergy throughout my three products. When creating my film poster and magazine front cover, I wanted to follow the codes and convention of horror. I used a variety of techniques that I've seen in similar posters and magazines to create it. Firstly, my film poster. I wanted to conform to the codes and conventions by creating a main image that created enigmas. One poster I looked at was the following, which is a poster for a TV show. I liked the main image because of the use of the low-key lighting and the direct mode of address of the protagonist. Therefore, when I created mine, I used the same mode of address and used the hand grips on the protagonist's neck and forehead. I edited my main image by using HDR toning and by making the protagonist look frightened. By also using HDR, it allowed me to increase the exposure, which allows the audience to see the detail in his face. The fact that you can't see who's attacking him adds to the mystery and creates more enigmas in the audience's mind. Also, most film posters place the title of the film on the bottom. I followed this convention, as I didn't want to interfere with the main image. My main image is the main feature of my film poster and attracts the audience. When creating my tagline, I used my research of phobias for inspiration. When researching, I looked at the definition of phobia and found out it meant more than a fear. Therefore, I made my tagline more than a fear. More than a fear heightens my trailer's aspect of fear and adds to the overall concept of the trailer. Low-key lighting is used in my main image and is a convention of the horror genre. Also, my film poster has a rating, contains credits, a tagline, and the protagonist is revealed. When creating my magazine front cover, I considered lighting, typography, and conventions of a magazine front cover. Before I began to make my magazine front cover, I looked at Fangoria magazine front cover for inspiration. I decided to be original by creating my own name of my magazine by calling it Scream. This is because it links well with the horror genre. My main image for a magazine front cover links to the horror genre and is edited to make the protagonist look like a cartoon. His eyes are like they have been gouged out and he looks like he's been possessed. This image represents the horror genre. I used the protagonist for my front cover of my magazine and the film poster. This is because I wanted the audience to become familiar with him and build a relationship to this character. Overall, my magazine front cover follows the convention of a magazine. It has a masthead, catchy cover lines, a barcode, selling line, and main cover line, just like other magazine front covers like Fangoria. Thank you for watching.